Karim? Apart from River Congo and River Nile, any other river we talked about last time? Angela Martha? Angela Martha?
River Niger. River Niger.
River Niger, thank you very much. We have River Niger. Then another main river. Yes, sure. Ivy Manji.
River Orange.
River Orange. River Orange. Any other river? Yes, Winnie? Any other river? Ivy?
River Limpopo.
River Limpopo. River Limpopo. Any other? We looked at very many rivers, major rivers. Shirley Baudila?
Teacher, River Zambezi.
Yes, River Zambezi. River Zambezi. All these rivers. Then we also talked about River Volta. River Volta. But you must know the countries where. You must know the countries where these rivers are found. We must know the countries where these rivers are what? Are found. Clear? Like River Volta. Where do we find River Volta? Where do we find River Volta? Yes, Valerie. Where do we find the River Volta? In which country? Valerie in Mpanjo.
Yes, teacher.
We are not in class. Where do we find that country, that river? In which country? River Volta.
In Ghana.
It is found in Ghana. Thank you very much. Shari, where do we find Zambezi?
In Zambia.
Zambia. Correct. Limpopo. Witten. Limpopo, where do we find? South Africa. What about Orange? What about Orange?
South Africa.
South Africa. Thank you very much. Niger. Where do we find Niger? Bloodily. Where do we find Nigeria? Yes, it is found in Nigeria. Nigeria. And the Congo, definitely, DRC, and River Niles, Uganda, majorly. So today we are going to talk about one of those rivers that is none other than, River. It is none but other than River Nile. So River Nile is the major river we are going to talk about today. I told you there are very many rivers, but we shall be talking about one by one. Yes, Jesse, can you please read for us what is in what you're seeing on the screen? Read that slide for us. Jesse?
River Nile. The Nile is the longest river in Africa. It runs out of Lake Victoria. It flows through Uganda, South Sudan, and Egypt.
So then the Nile, which we are talking about, it is the longest river in Africa. It is the longest river in Africa. And not only in Africa, other books also talks about this River Nile as even being the longest in the world. So it is very, very long. By how many kilometers? Last time I told you, it covers a kilometer of how many from its source up to where it pours its water. By its, yes, when is easy?
6,500 kilometers.
Correct. 6,500 kilometers, right from its source. So it is very, very long, followed by River Congo. So it runs out of Lake Victoria. So once they say it runs out of Lake Victoria, that is definitely, it is where it has its source. So Lake Victoria acts as a source of river Nile, in case they have asked. How important is Lake Victoria to river Nile? How important is Lake Victoria to river Nile? You simply say, Lake Victoria is the source of river Nile. They have told us that it runs through, or it flows through Uganda, South Sudan, Sudan, and Egypt. So those are the how many countries where it goes through? Almost 5. So it runs through those countries, starting from Uganda, where it has its source, South Sudan, Sudan, and Egypt. Thank you very much. Okay, now we are going to talk about also this term called Nile Valley countries. Nile Valley countries. I've been seeing very many questions, very many papers asking students, what are Nile Valley countries? But instead, children go on mentioning Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. But that is a question which needs you to explain. What are Nile Valley countries? Whitin, can you tell us what are Nile Valley countries?
These are countries through which River Nile flows.
Very correct. Jesse, what are Nile Valley countries? Jesse, you are very. What are Nile Valley countries? Yes, is not there. Yes, Bradley. What are Nile Valley countries?
Nile Valley countries are countries through which the river Nile flows.
Yes, we have those countries where river Nile flows. So in each and every country where Nile has connection is what we call Nile Valley countries. So those Nile Valley countries, they include, can you mention some of those countries? I'm waiting for those answers. Yes, Shirley? Shirley? Angela Massa? Angela Massa?
South Sudan.
We have South Sudan.
Egypt.
Another country? Winnie?
Sudan.
Sudan, yes. Daniela? Morocco. We have Egypt. Thank you very much. Karim? Karim?
Yes.
You mentioned the country where the river Nile flows. Some countries we are mentioning. So we have mentioned South Sudan, Sudan, Egypt, and another country is?
Uganda.
Uganda. Is there any other country left out? Shirley? Yes, Ethiopia. I knew that you, yes, Ethiopia should also be included, Ethiopia. Why do you think we include Ethiopia? It is because of the other blue Nile. The other blue Nile starts from Ethiopia, then it connects to the main river Nile. So those are the countries that form what we call the Nile valleys. So those are Nile valleys countries. In case they have told you to mention Nile Valley countries, those are countries through which river Nile flows. Let me hope everyone has been following. Then we continue. These are the countries in their order: Uganda, South Sudan, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Egypt. Egypt, that's where it has its lower part. That is the country which is found in the lower part. So the Nile, which we are talking about, it pours its water in Mediterranean Sea. It pours its water in Mediterranean Sea, and it forms a delta as it enters the sea. This is what we call the Nile Valley. This is what we call the Nile Valley. When you look at the map, the Nile starts from here. The Nile starts from here, from the black point. Then it comes here. From here up to there, from Lake Victoria to Albert here, it is called Victoria Nile. Then from Victoria to Nimule there, to Nimule here, it is called Albert Nile. Then from Nimule there, you move Sudan, South Sudan up to Khartoum. They know it as a white Nile. They know it as a white Nile. Then for the people of Ethiopia, they know it as a blue Nile. Why? The blue Nile has its source in Ethiopia on a lake. This is the lake which I told you last time, on a lake. Which lake is that, Karim? On a lake called what? On the lake, yes. Bloodily, which lake is that?
Lake Tana.
Lake Tana. So that's where the Blue Nile has its source. Then it continues to move. Then it goes to Egypt as it follows, as it enters the Mediterranean Sea. It enters in form of a delta. It enters in form of a delta. Who can still remember the meaning of a delta? What is a delta? What is a delta? Mlokola, what is a delta? Yes, Mlokola, what is a delta? Mlokola? Okay, Angela Massa, what is a delta?
A delta is a point of a river where a river divides itself into several streams before entering the mouth.
Very correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Angela. Martha, we said that a delta is a point where a river splits. Where a river splits, or if you have not used splits, where a river divides into several streams as it enters a sea or an ocean. Now, when you look at properly at the Nile Delta, there where that point is, you can see it enters Mediterranean Sea in form of small streams. So those small streams it has formed is what we call a delta. It is what we call a delta. So that is the flow of River Nile, and those are the countries where it goes through, and the Nile Valley. We can continue. We can continue and see the Nile Valley countries. We have seen them already. Now let us look at the dams on River Nile in Uganda. What is a dam? Before we go to look at the dams in Uganda, what is a dam? In case the question has asked, what is a dam? Have you ever heard about it? Yes. Okay, in simple terms, if you have to define what is a dam, you simply say a dam is a place on a river. Is a place on a river where hydroelectricity power is generated. Where hydroelectricity power is generated. So now we are talking about places where hydroelectricity power is generated. In most of the exams, they always tell us, draw a map symbol for a dam, or you find who can annotate and draw for us a map symbol for a dam. If you are there, in just a minute. Yes, Bladley, can you annotate and draw for us a map symbol for a dam? Annotate very fast and draw for us. Hurry up. Yes, that is Bladley. Okay, that is Angela Martha, correct. Yes, Shirley, let me see yours, Shirley. Okay, Shirley, then when is easy? When is easy? Thank you very much. Okay, those are the people who can try. So whenever they tell you draw a map symbol for a dam, that is a dam. Miss Ghana, what is a dam? Can you tell us what is a dam? Miss Ghana, are you there? Okay, if Miss Ghana is not there, let us proceed. That is in simple terms. In the case they have asked you to make you know what is a dam on a river. A dam is a place on a river where hydroelectricity is generated. So that is a map symbol for a dam, in case they have told you to draw. Then we have River Nile has got very many. River Nile has got very many dams in different countries where it flows. Like, for example, in Uganda, it has all these dams. It has all these dams. One, it is Naluvale Dam. One, it is Naluvale Dam. This one was formerly known as Owen Falls Dam. It was formerly known as Owen Falls Dam, but it's now called Naluvale Dam. There is also Kira Power Station on River Nile. All these ones in Jinja, we have Bujagali Power Station. It is also found in Jinja. Then we have Karuma. We have Karuma. It is now, this one is still under construction. It is still under construction. And all these ones were once waterfalls. They were once waterfalls. But now, whenever they put a dam, of course, the waterfall disappears. They first of all remove the waterfall. Or on that very waterfall, it's where they set up a dam. So all these ones are dams in Uganda. In case they have told you to mention, you mention Naluvale Dam, Kira Power Station, Bujagali Power Station, and Karuma. Though Karuma is not yet launched.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
So if you still write Owen Falls Dam, can they mark you wrong?
These days, when you write Owen Falls Dam, they mark you wrong because it is no longer there, unless when they have asked you, write down the former name for Naluvale Dam. It can be asked. Write down the former name for Naluvale Dam. That's when you write Owen Falls Dam. But as per now, the Owen Falls Dam is now known as Naluvale Dam. So it is, these dams are the one which provides all electricity which is being used in, or most of the electricity being used in Uganda, and some is being exported to other countries like Kenya, like Rwanda, like Rwanda. Then you come to South Sudan, all those countries use electricity from those which is supplied by those dams. South Sudan. So please, that is Owen. I mean, those are dams on River Nile. In case they have asked you, mention any country where Uganda exports her electricity, You are free to mention Kenya, you are free to mention Rwanda, you are free to mention South Sudan, etc. Those are the countries. But again, there is another question they always ask people. How important is River Nile to the people of Tanzania? How important is River Nile to the people of Tanzania and what? And Kenya? So people say they get water for irrigation. That one is wrong. They get water for irrigation. No. These people, they benefit from River Nile by using the hydroelectricity. You simply say hydroelectricity, and River Nile has power stations that provide hydroelectricity to the people of Kenya or Tanzania or those other countries we have mentioned where the Nile does not flow. But apart from generating hydroelectricity, the water of River Nile can be used for irrigation. We are still continuing. Then in Sudan, they also have dams which they have set up on River Nile. They have one dam called Rosairis Dam. Rosairis Dam. Look at the spelling. Rosairi, R-O-S, R-O-S, R-O-S-E-I-R-E-S. That is Rosairis Dam. And another dam is called Sena Dam. Both dams are in Sudan. Then when it comes to Egypt, for them, they have Aswan High Dam. So when they ask you, be specific, write any dam constructed on River Nile in the such and such a country. When they say Egypt, again, you don't put Naru Valley, however much it is on River Nile. When they say Sudan, we don't expect you to write Aswan High Dam because Aswan High Dam is in Egypt. So just master the dams and the countries where they were built. So those are the ones. Someone will ask, what about for South Sudan? What about for Ethiopia? Those ones, they have not yet constructed any dam on River Nile. Why? Those areas have no waterfalls along River Nile. So that is. Now we can proceed to waterfalls on River Nile. We also have waterfalls on River Nile. Waterfalls, what is a waterfall? By the way, these terms always move hand in hand. Waterfall, waterfalls, waterfalls. What is a waterfall? Waterfall. Let me hope those things which I note here, you also note them down, because anytime I may bring them in the questions and you fail to answer. What is waterfalls? What is a waterfall? Okay, in simple terms, waterfall, I remember last time I talked about it. Waterfall is the steep flow of a river. When we get time, we shall, if time allows, we shall also look at waterfalls, how it looks like. I have some video there. Waterfall is a steep flow of a river. This one move hand in hand with rapids. They may tell you also to tell what is rapid. Where there is waterfall, there must be rapids. So waterfall is the steep flow of a river. And what is a rapid? A rapid is a part of a river. It's a part of a river where water flows very fast. Where water flows very fast over a hard rock. Over a hard rock. Karim, what is a rapid? Karim, what is a rapid? Karim, what is a rapid? Okay, Haris Kabuza, what is a rapid? Haris? Haris? As if members are not there. Okay, Shali is ready. Shali, what is a rapid?
A rapid is a part of a river where water flows very fast over a hard rock.
Over a hard rock. So in most cases, where there is waterfall, there must be these rapids. There must be those what? Rapids. Because in order to form a waterfall, water must be running at a very high speed, then it hits over what? Rapids. Then it forms waterfalls. So among the waterfalls we have Karuma Falls, we have Maxon Falls, we have Itanda Falls, and Kalagala Falls. Those one on River Nile in Uganda. Waterfalls on River Nile in Uganda. The map symbol for waterfalls, of course, it has two crosses. That is the difference between a waterfall and a dam. Let me hope you have noted down the meaning of a rapid and waterfalls. Have you noted those two terms down? Because you will not find them in your activity, in your lesson notes. Okay. Those are waterfalls we have. There is something to note. I noted this one for you, River Nile. River Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt. Why? They always ask the question. Sometimes they say, why is it correct to say that River Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt? Or why is it correct to say that no River Nile, no Egypt? Why is it correct to say no River Nile, no Egypt? Give your answer. Explain why is that statement correct. The answer is here. The answer is just here. Your answer is here. Why is it correct to say no Egypt? No River Nile, no Egypt. Or why is it correct to say River Nile is the blood of Egypt? The answer is here. River Nile is the blood of Egypt because the people of Egypt depend on the water of River Nile for irrigation and domestic use. What do we mean by that? We all know that Egypt is a desert country, not so? But these people, they have a lot of food, fruits, and even they export them to other countries just because of the presence of River Nile. It provides with them all water they need in irrigation. Secondly, they have a lot of water there just because River Nile is there. They use that water for domestic. They don't go directly to River Nile. It is the water they use in Egypt. They trap it through channels and they provide it to the people through tanks or taps. And they do what? They get water for use. So when you go there, you may fail to know whether it is a desert or it is not a desert because they have plenty of water. But you come one day and say, River Nile has dried up. That will be the end of Egypt also. That will be the end of Egypt. So why is it correct to say that the lifeblood of Egypt, River Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt? The answer is, it is because the people of Egypt depend on the water of River Nile for irrigation and domestic use. So in the remaining minutes, I would like to use them and show you the waterfalls. And if time allows, we shall also look at the dams, how they generate hydroelectricity. So this is what we have. So that is a fall, which I was talking about, yeah? Waterfalls. It comes from a very high hard rock, then it falls down. The first flow of a river, steep flow of a river, that is the waterfall. So I don't know whether people have ever visited such places. How many of you have ever visited such places where you see the water flows from the steep area to the ground? So those are waterfalls. And I'm very much sure some of you have ever visited Maxon Falls. If you moved with us when you're going to North Eastern Tour, you have ever visited Maxon Falls. So those are falls, waterfalls.
It was beautiful.
So that is waterfall. Now let us also look at the Nile Dam also. It is here. I don't know whether, let me see, I'm using the remaining minutes. All right.
Plant were opened after ages
There it is
was one that will go down in history.
That is where most of the
The gates have been closed since 1999.
This is wonderful. Just look at this. For almost 16 years, Ugandans have not been seeing such a thing here at Nile Falls Dam. It has mesmerized many who had even thought that the gates down here are no longer functional.
So
after 16
in
years,
such areas,
these
that's where
sluice gates
electricity is
have
being
been tested,
generated.
opened and closed, so that this dam is able to carry out its fundamental role, which is flood control.
The opening was preceded by months of rehabilitation works on the flash points.
This is a huge risk that has been mitigated, that should there be an unlikely event of torrential rains and increased amount of water on the lakeside, these gates are able to be opened so that the Jinja Narubale Dam does not flood with water crossing over.
Simon Kasiate is the corporate affairs manager for ESCOM, which is the holder of the concession to manage the efficiency of the Narubali and Chira power plants. The gates were closed after the construction of the Chira power station, which diverted and saved a lot of water from wastage. Kasiate says opening the gates will be done annually.
And so we are planning in our way to ensure that this becomes an annual event, if for nothing else other than just testing whether the gates can open and close, to grant Ugandans who for a long time have not been witnessing such a scenic moment to come down here and view for themselves and enjoy the few minutes when these gates open
Let
and
me
close.
hope everyone has enjoyed that tour. Karim has told me that for them yesterday they went to Karuma. What was there? Did you visit the dam which is being constructed? But I know they don't allow their people. They don't allow visitors. Maybe you stood in the distance. That is it. Karim. Karim, welcome back. Welcome back from that tour. Is there a map symbol for a rapid? That one is Angela. Angela, there is no map symbol for rapids, but there are only those two map symbols. Then who else has a question? Yes, here. Mr. Faraj was requesting you to turn on your videos. Some have done it, some still have refused. Okay, so members, this has been the end of our lesson.
The event was also attended by the
We have talked about River Nile and the areas where it flows. We have seen the dams. We have seen everything on River Nile. So now you should now start expecting questions about River Nile. They may tell you to locate dams. They may tell you to talk about tributaries, because we talked about them. They may tell you anything about River Nile. You should start expecting it. So what else we shall talk about majorly on River Nile? We shall also talk about the Gezira irrigation scheme on River Nile there in Sudan. Then we shall also talk about Aswan High Dam as when we happen to reach at multipurpose river projects. So members, that has been our lesson. Thank you for attending, and thank you for being good students, those who have been able to participate. Let us